All right, everybody. So today I'm going to be talking about Palantir once again, ticker symbol PLTR. I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on the great news that we just got today, as well as some of the thoughts as far as the technicals and stuff like that, what we're looking for within the next week, few months, and years. But I also wanted to take a focus into the new contract they just received today. It's kind of been big news. We might have got a little bit of a spike off of it today. What I have up here is a 5-minute chart right now on Palantir. Uh, as you can see, almost every day we've gapped up this week. It's a pretty good, strong bullish signal there. Um, we are kind of in a recovery, so to say. So it's almost to be expected. We haven't seen anything crazy or anything out of the normal compared to everything else we're watching right now. Um, One of the big things, though, as you know, we kind of got stuck today on the 2684, and we've kind of etched up all the way to it. Um, right now after hours we're sitting right about the same at 2684. What I wanted to go over real quick though before we get started with everything is I want to show you a few things I found today and you let me know your thoughts on it. So the first thing, I was just cruising through my Facebook here and I see this news article today. A Kroger in Virginia says it administered empty syringes instead of COVID-19 vaccine. The spokesperson said this was an honest mistake. Kind of makes me a little nervous about this vaccine going on right now. But then right behind that, I've seen this. This would be a game changer. Dollar General may team up to help the vaccinations. I don't know about you guys, but if Kroger can't get it right, I'm sure not going to let Dollar General give me my vaccine. Just wanted to throw that out there. Um, it's kind of my funny of the day that I find, I guess. So I looked up this company today, actually. Um, I wasn't real familiar with who they are or anything really about them. So I kind of had to do a little research myself just to find out everything. But today, Palantir and its Farisi embark on a long-term strategic partnership. Pretty much they teamed up, which there's a few big things I wanted to talk about here. One is they entered a 6-year strategic partnership. One of the big fears looming over Palantir right now is this growth sustainable? Are we going to be able to get new customers and keep them? Well, this is a 6-year contract. It's exactly what Palantir uh, wants and needs as far as the right direction goes. I think that's a huge statement. A 6-year contract is a long time commitment when you're paying somebody to do business for you. Um, and the other cool things about this is right here at the beginning, to accelerate its digital transformation ambition to be CO2 neutral, which, as you know, is a huge thing right now, the EV world, EV segment. Um, that's where all the hype is. That's where all the growth is. So that's a huge plus for there. But the biggest thing is this is a commercial company. Which is the other thing that's been kind of looming over them. We know Palantir does great in the military and uh, with a lot of the military contractors, U.S. contractors. How do they do in the commercial segment? So this is a great opportunity for there. I think the only thing it lacked is this company's name being known as well, I guess. I think if it would have been, Palantir teams with Ford, everybody would have went, ape nuts. Now, here's the cool thing about this company. Uh, they are actually the ninth largest auto parts distributor. They specialize in making interior, from the door panels to the dash, cluster, gauges, your touch screen, everything interior, your seats that you're sitting in. They fully make the cockpit for it. Now, with that being said, um, it's not, they don't do it for just small companies. They manufacture all the parts for your Volkswagens, your Renault, Nissan, Mitsubishi, Ford, General Motors, BMW, Daimler, Toyota, Hyundai, Kia, Jaguar, Land Rover, and the list goes on. I think last year the revenue was $41 billion. So they signed a 6-year contract, and they're going to help accelerate their delivery of parts, their parts and storage, keep track, manage all the data better. And then also, I think they're going to team up and help with the actual assistance. When I was looking at this and track the measurable overall CO2, like when I'm reading a lot of this, I'm thinking they're going to gather some of the information from these vehicles that are being produced or the parts that are being produced and, test them over long periods of times, receive all the data and be able to, just analyze it, I guess, and see if they can't help push into that emission-free world. Um, let's see here. I had a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about, so bear with me there. Doom, 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 doom. Um, here it is right here for you. I had to look it up. It's Faurecia, a French global automotive supplier headquartered in Nanterre. Um, they've been around a long time. There's nothing wrong here. This company's freaking humongous. It's a publicly traded company as well. Um, 8,300 engineers and technicians. They have over 300 production sites and 35 R&D centers in 37 countries. Um, these guys are huge. And you got to think with all the Ford, the BMW, the Volkswagen, they manufacture the parts and ship them to the different factories. Now they can't sit anywhere for long periods of time, or they're generally losing money. They want pretty much to ship it when it's needed. They don't want stuff stashed away or waiting. So as they're rolling vehicles through production, Palantir is going to make sure that all the parts are arriving, I guess, correctly, pretty much at the right times and stuff. And it's a lot of information gathering. I think what I've seen this so far the most is saving companies money as far as shipping expenditures and stuff like that. They just find trends in the systems and are able to save people tons of money. They just had an article come out the other day. I think they saved one of the companies a little over 20%, and the company's stock, went up based on their increased revenue, but it was actually just Palantir saving them money. Um, but once again, this is a commercial company. It's the ninth largest. I think that's one of their big things is they want to get in with the big boys, and that's what they announce is the big boy deals. Um, but what you're not seeing is all the other deals that are getting brokered and going on right now. I think Alex Karp actually kind of downplayed a little bit with the 30% revenue growth. They just signed this deal with AWS like 2 or 3 days ago, and as you look, they already have 20 plus customer launches. Um, that's pretty impressive. Now, these aren't probably $1 million contracts by any means. They're probably on a much smaller scale, and I think that's what Palantir is trying to get into as well. If they can get down to the mom and pop small business, for even $100, $200 a month, we're talking about subscriptions though, and subscriptions are one of the most popular and kind of hype growth stocks available, honestly. Um, Everything is nowadays is subscription because that's a guaranteed revenue every month. And you sign these businesses up with a technology, you might have to pay for the people to come out, the people to set it up, the tech support to make sure you know how to operate it properly. But once the tech is running flawlessly, they literally just sit back and collect your subscription. It's pretty impressive. Um, I'm a huge buyer right now on it, and I think it very well could be. I'm sure it is actually. I know it is uh, overvalued by a technical and boomer kind of mindset. But everybody is in growth. And the thing is, if you'd have looked at Apple, 20 years ago, you'd have looked at a lot of these other companies, in their infancy, you'd have been like, oh, that's way overpriced. Same with Tesla. It's way overpriced. It's way overpriced. But how much potential does this company have to go from where it's at now to in the future? And I think every week these guys are proving it. Uh, One of the other big things that I loved about them is they are the hypiest of hype stocks. You got a lot of companies out there like Lemonade, stuff like that. It's hard for them to come up with material to get the market hype. They're not, every time they sign somebody up for insurance, they're not, posting it. We don't have a news story every couple of weeks. Palantir is very heavily followed, and they have the perfect market to be able to create the hype week in, week out, week in, week out, signing big contract, big contract, big contract. It's just a hype driven stock, like 100%, like it's doing what it says it's doing. And then on top of that, you have the hype that comes with it. Every week it'll just jump, jump, jump. And I think this thing eventually is probably going to end up, within the next year, probably in the $50 to $60 range, and it'll probably bounce around there for a couple of years, maybe. Um, and then again, I don't know. Alex Karp announces these 30% revenue expected. The thing is, he's put everything into this company. He wants this company's stock to be invaluable. Um, and his idea behind it is if he sets the low expectations, he's going to smash them. And then what's going to happen? more long-term investors are going to keep coming in. Long-term investors keep coming in. I think one of the biggest problems with our bounce back, why we didn't just jump up 30% in one day, is because previously the stock had went up to 45. Let me go around here. The stock had went up to $45 here, and most of this was based on hype. A lot of GameStop talk, a lot of Wall Street bets, that kind of stuff caused this to have a huge hype jump. And then once we hit here, it's FOMO from there. Um, Now with the FOMO, the day traders, all that stuff has quadrupled in the last few years, especially now that people know that it's this easy. Apps like Robinhood, Webull, um, also Webull. You can click a link below and sign up. You get 2 free stocks, and I get 2 free stocks, so it's a pretty good deal. I'll never complain if you give me free money. Now, a lot of those apps made it easier, and then they came out with zero commission free trading, that kind of stuff, and it made it a lot easier for people to get in and chase these moves. Now, down here I bought a ton of call options. If I was new at this, I could have did the same thing, and I think when this thing hits $40, $60, I'm going to make a ton of money from it. Maybe I'll throw some posts up there after it gets there, but it's caused a lot of people to come into the market, and a lot of times it takes a little bit of hype. And once we hit here, right at that $30 mark, we clear this little gap here, it's going to be hype again. Only this time, hopefully, it's bigger stories coming out. I think Alex Karp's scheduled to talk on Tuesday. That's going to be another big motivational push. I'm telling you, these guys are freaking killing it in the hype genre. Like literally every week, we can get a new story from them that's going to cause the stock to rally. I 100% support it. I'm a long term on Palantir, but 100% I'm okay with them hyping it up. I have a lot of contracts. I'll sell them. I'll buy a few more when it drops back down. It's a pretty easy deal there. Now, I kind of just ramble on, so I apologize, you guys. Um, Hope you appreciated my thoughts, and if you have any questions or anything, please leave me a comment. I'll answer every single one of them. Appreciate your time. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed my content. Thank you, guys.